Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say shalom to Akim and Akwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. All right, today's title, I guess it's should have milk on the top of it. All right, I never added that. I guess wasn't really thinking about that, but I guess this would be considered a milk topic. All right, of course, we've been back on the roll with milk lessons. I'm trying to get them out one by one. All right, we still got, many more. I was going to give you a sneak peek, but I won't give it all away. All right, of course, we got many more milk subjects to talk upon. We've done, heading to the page right now, of course, on my computer. You won't be able to see it, but which ones have we done so far? We've done, yesterday's lesson was almost kind of a milk lesson, a little bit deeper. All right, it was a milk lesson though, technically, which was why can't granddaddy understand the truth? Old equals wise, and really, I should really go ahead and throw milk on that. We did milk, covetous money, and material items. All right, that's another thing that we did. Bear with me just a moment here. Let me throw milk on this real quick. Of course, you can't see it, but I want to make sure it's there for when the sheep come to graze today. All right, let me go ahead and save that. What else did we do? Milk, covetous money, and material items. So, of course, we knocked that out the park. All right, no, not knocked it out of the park as in all. We did really good, but that's out the field now. All right, that one's good. Salvation comes from predestination. That works. That one's kind of milk. All right. Israel scattered. Those are, of course, that's milk. I'm not going to put milk on it because the title's already long enough. But we've been going through milk topics lately. All right. You are blessed. Why do we keep the commandments? All right. So we've been having a lot of milk lessons going out lately. All right. What does this say? Help us review whether our systems reflect an unintentional bias. Answer questions about yourself so we can understand how various communities experience YouTube. No thanks. I'm good. No, because you guys already have a bias against us, all right, the Hebrew Israelites, so you fucking know what you're doing. But anyway, so we've made quite a few milk lessons. We're back at it again, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Shemi Shai. All praise, honor, and glory definitely due, all right, as Apostle Pastor Gabar usually starts up, all right, and giving him praise again. So hey, let's just get right into it, man. All right, and the simple fact is, drug use is witchcraft. All right, that's the title. It's not a question. It's not a if and or must, maybe, or this, that, or the other. The title of the lesson is actually just stating a fact, and that fact being stated is drug use is witchcraft. All right, and we're going to go and prove that. All right, now the first thing that we're going to do, I guess we'll, how do I want to do this? Bear with me while I grab a drink and ponder. All right, how do I want to start this? Do I want to go straight to 1 Corinthians 6:19, or I don't want to prove, first off, right out the bat, that drug use is witchcraft? We'll prove that later, all right? We're going to start off with 1 Corinthians 6:19, all right, through the Spirit. So let's go ahead and get it. Here we are, 1 Corinthians 6:19. And we're going to go ahead and read it. And it reads, let's see, do you want to read up? Let's see. We'll start from 14, okay? This is 1 Corinthians 6:14. It says, "And the Most High hath both raised up the Lord, and will also raise us up by his own power. Know ye not that your bodies are the members of Hamashiach? Shall I then take the members of Hamashiach and make them the members of an harlot? God forbid. Says what? Know ye not that he which is joined to an harlot is one body? For two, saith he, shall be one flesh. But he that is joined unto the Lord is one spirit. Flee fornication. Every man that doeth it, it's like every sin that a man doeth. Let me start over. Verse 18. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. Verse 19 in the point, it says, what? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High, and ye are not your own? For ye are bought with a price, therefore glorify the Most High in your body and in your spirit, which are the Most High. So our body and our spirit belong to who? The Most High. If you read verse 20, it tells you that our body and our spirit belong to the Most High. They don't belong to us, they belong to the Most High. We're just temporarily borrowing them, all right? And he's going to give us better vessels, later. Okay, but we know these aren't the best vessels as a human, not a human, but as a spirit to be in. All right, they can get sick, they die, all right, they get ill, all right, they get aches and pains, they age terribly, all right, but nonetheless we have them, all right, through the power of, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. These are the bodies that he gave us, all right, and these bodies are also being used as a punishment in a way as well, because we get those aches and pains, and, some of the curses were, illnesses and, blasting and all those different things, right? And, that's something that this body can, that affects this body. All right. Now our spiritual body, it won't be getting none of those things. Colds, flus, or virus. Now the nations will still be getting those things, and we'll have to heal them, but we won't be getting those things. We'll have a better vessel. Okay. The vessels we're in right now aren't the best. Okay, but they're still not ours. We still have to, try to take care of them. And to an extent, I mean, we have to try to do better. We can't do 100% great because we're in Babylon the Great as it is. All right, and we could all be doing better. I'm not going to say that I don't, indulge in some things that I shouldn't. Fast food occasionally, yes. All right, I'm sure most of us do. If you don't, hey, that's great. But some of us, get off of work late, or certain situations like that, or just don't have the time to make food, or just don't have the energy sometimes, man. All right, and sometimes, I try not to go. I don't ever go to Burger King or McDonald's. I try to go to better ones, but occasionally go to Cane's, all right, and get some chicken. So but we have to try to do better, all right. If there's an option, all right, we should be choosing the healthier option. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't sometimes choose the unhealthy option. I'm saying what we should be doing. All right, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say that I do it and you should too. And I need to, this is something I need to be better at myself. All right, there's something we all need to prove at. We're all getting better in this truth, brothers and sisters. We're all getting better. All right, or at least that's what you should be striving for and hoping that you're doing better. You don't want to get worse. You want to get better, right? But in Babylon, it is very hard to eat, even healthily. Man, I was reading up the other day, and I don't know if I can find it online, because I was reading about the FDA, certain things regarding, the FDA, and it's actually up on the screen right now about labeling, like cosmetic products and stuff like that, like lotions and stuff. Lotions and soaps and stuff like that. You can have a side hustle, right? And that's something I wanted to get into, but I was researching into that, and I don't know if it falls for food, but the FDA doesn't actually even regulate the terms natural and organic. Now, I don't know if it's over here. It was on the FDA's website, which they link to. Let's see. And this is from the FDA right here, the FDA.gov, as you can see. Now, I can look up in here. Organic. Guess it's not finding it. That's interesting. We can just look it up. Check this out. Let's see. Is the term natural or organic regulated by the FDA? Look at this. The FDA does not regulate the use of the term organic on food labels. Okay? National Organic Program, NOP, is the federal regulatory framework governing organically produced crops and livestock. So, I don't know if they have some type of regulation, but the FDA does not govern what, they don't regulate it though. All right. They don't really regulate the use. Look, the United States Department of Agriculture, USDA, it says does regulate. Okay, so I guess the FDA doesn't, but it when it's applied to meat, poultry, what else? Let's see. See, unlike natural, which has no clear definition. So this is all natural. Yeah, well, it's probably not. So the use of organic is regulated by the NOP, and who knows what so it's not regulated by the FDA or the USDA, but it's regulated by the NOP. So who knows what their stipulations for that are and how loose that term is, all right? Because the FDA, it doesn't allow this thing, but it allows so many pounds of feces, piss, and bug. So you got to realize, that, a lot of the things that they tell us here is a bunch of bullshit and lies, all right? Let's split this right here. Go ahead and split that. So, you got to realize a lot of that's bullshit. So we got to try to the best of our ability, all right? But just know that sometimes when you get that natural, 100% natural or organic, it ain't all organic, all natural all the time, okay? There was a video that I watched. I believe it was before I got in the truth, or shortly, before I got in the truth, or shortly after I got in the truth, either really early or just before. And this guy went into, Whole Foods or, certain places like that. And he went into Walmart and he tested the fruits, and he found out that the natural health stores, or the health stores, I think it was just natural grocers. It might have been a couple of different ones. I can't remember exactly. But I think it was natural grocers specifically is one of the ones he tested. And the fruits, and I guess the vegetables, I don't know if he did vegetables as well. I know he did fruits. Had more pesticides and chemicals that were harmful than the ones from Walmart. All right, and he was a scientist himself. He went and did all the stuff and then ran them through however the fuck he did it. All right, and he found out that they have more chemicals than natural, and that's just like something that Esau would do. All right, that's something that Esau would do. Oh, look, I'm gonna make them seem like they're eating healthy, and it's actually worse for you. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, not deterring you. All right, but I still shop at health food stores. All right. And sometimes it is better. But at the end of the day, we really don't even know what the fuck's going in our food, man. All right? We really don't know what the fuck's going in our food. So bear with me. I'm going to grab another drink. And this moved us out of our place. We're going to start back up from 18. It says, flee fornication. This is 1 Corinthians 6 and 19. 18, Salakia. Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body. What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, which is in you, which ye have of the Most High, and ye are not your own? For ye are bought with a price, therefore glorify the Most High in your body and in your spirit, which are the Most High's. So again, we have to take care of it to the best of our ability, right? We're not always going to be perfect. All right, we're not going to claim to be, the biggest health nut in the world. All right, I know I'm not. All right, but I've tried getting healthier. All right, I try. All right, I try. Right, but I'm not the best all the time. All right, I do end up eating junk. So, but I try to eat better. All right, not perfect, but better. Instead of a cheeseburger, maybe like even if it's a chicken dish or something. It's something that, not fried chicken, of course, but blackened chicken or something like that. The wife recently made. Certain things like that, and so you just gotta try better, man. All right, and none of us are perfect. All right, I'm not the best at it. All right, I'm not the best at it. Do I wish I could get better? Yes, and I should try to do more. All right, just as you brothers and sisters should as well. Okay, because we are supposed to be taking care of this body, because it isn't ours, it's the Most High's. All right, and you gotta also realize that putting all that shit in it, all right, is it's gonna make you feel like shit too. All right, and this is 1 Corinthians. Let's go get 1 Corinthians 3 and 17. All right, because this is also our temple, man. All right, that's another thing, is this is also our temple. Can I have my keyboard back? Cool. But let's read it. This is 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 16. And bear with me just a minute, brothers and sisters. get back here. All right, let's lock you for that. Nose was driving me mad. All right, so 1 Corinthians 3 and 15. All right, 3 and 16. Okay, unless we want to read up, let me see. No, we'll start from 16. So this is 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. It reads, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you?" So that's another thing. People say, oh, go to the temple, you got to go to the church. You got to go to the church. Well, the thing is, you are the church, all right? When there's, a couple men gathered, that's church, all right? Because the Spirit dwells within you, all right? You're the temple, all right? So you're the church, all right? You don't need a building of worship, all right? You don't, all right? You're the temple, right? You know. It says, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you?" In verse 17 it says, "If any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy, for the temple of the Most High is holy, which temple ye are." And you're probably wondering, well, we're talking about drug use. What does this have to do with anything? Well, that's defiling the temple, is it not? You're putting all these weird, strange things and chemical, and who knows even what's in all that shit. All right, just a bunch of weirdo shit. All right, chemical and fucking probably strychnine and all this other poisons and shit, depending on what drug you're using. They all have something bad in it. All right, and then cannabis. All right, marijuana, Jake's favorite. All right, that one, man, that can mess you all up. All right, and you think, oh, what's it? Yeah, it won't kill you. It itself won't kill you, but the Most High will put you to death. But you got to realize a bunch of other things. Everybody always talks about, weed's fine, and all these other drugs are bad. Weed's fine. You got to realize the things that marijuana does. First of all, as a man smoking, if you're smoking marijuana, you got to realize that it increases estrogen levels. Okay, that's something that they won't tell you. All right, let's see if they can find it. Let's see. Marijuana. Increases God damn it, got the forgetful demon on me just then. Estrogen. Let's see. Ooh, look at that. Marijuana is associated with a hormonal imbalance among several habits related to male infertility. So guess what? Your boys ain't gonna work no more. All right, you won't be able to be getting nobody pregnant. That's another thing, infertility. But that's also because it's boosting your look at this. Can smoking marijuana lead to developing man boobs? Look. Various preclinical studies have found that marijuana use can both increase estrogen production in men and decrease testosterone production. Look at that. It says, how does cannabis affect hormones? We do know that cannabis interacts with it, though, as it affects the production of hormones like insulin, testosterone, and estrogen. It affects those things, man. It affects those things. So that's why all you weed smoking Jake becomes so goddamn effeminate, okay? Because you got so much estrogen, it's cutting down your testosterone, the man chemical, right? And it's replacing it with estrogen, the female chemical, all right? So men are supposed to have testosterone, and women are supposed to have estrogen, all right? And when you see a woman with too much testosterone, what do you get? Has a deep voice like this, walks around, she starts growing facial hair. Right, that's what happens when women have too much testosterone. When men have too much estrogen, that's when you see these men walking around with man titties, right? They're fat, they're man titties. Their beard doesn't grow right; it's all patchy. All right, you see those fat video gaming fucks. All right, and I play video games too, so don't get offended here. But you know the ones we're talking about, those ones they call them neck beards, right? They got fucking patchy ass facial hair. All right, they're all fat, man titties flapping in the wind and shit. Why is it? Because they're and all the food that they're eating, it's packed full of estrogen. All right, it's cutting down the testosterone, the natural testosterone levels. All right, so that's why they're this big fat fucking blob wandering from place to place. It's fucking. So not only is weed polluting your temple, it's also gonna it puts a feminine vibration on you, man. And that's why some of these men that are smoking weed all the time are very, you know, feminine. They get offended real quick. They get you know, snappy real quick. All right, they're more likely to overreact because they have that feminine spirit on them. Right? So Jake walking around with a feminine spirit on him, smoking weed, you know, growing man titties. I don't got no man titties. Well, keep on smoking. You'll get them soon. All right? And, you know, and even if you don't get the man titties, all right, it's gonna decrease your testosterone production, all right, which means if you're working out, good fucking, not luck, but, you know, a fat chance of you gaining any muscle, all right, because all your testosterone's been replaced with estrogen, so now you're gonna have to work like quadruple the strength. Okay, there's multiple reasons why you shouldn't do these things, and the main reason is because the Most High is going to kill you if you keep doing it. All right, so all these different things are witchcraft. All right, drug use, and yes, drug constitutes as tobacco as well. All right, so you know that is a drug. All right, so you can't be smoking it, you can't be using it, all right, you can't be chewing it. All right, which I didn't know that. So, and I'll admit that I was using those nicotine pouches. All right, while I was in the truth, up until last year. All right, and I knew like deep things about the truth, I thought, you know, but then one day I heard one of the brothers, you know, mention it. All right, and I'll give credit where credit's due. Elder Manatazakba mentioned it. All right, that if you have addiction, that you're not really in this truth. And I examined myself, and I felt bad about it. You know, in the coming weeks after that, or at least the months. All right, I think it was weeks. All right, I ended up stopping. All right, might have been over a month, about a month and a half. All right, is max, right? And yeah, I stopped. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that was brought to my attention by that elder. All right, that elder brother. So can't be doing any of that. Can't be smoking the tobacco, chewing the tobacco, sniffing the tobacco because they have that nasal snuff. Can't be doing none of that, man. All right, any addiction's bad. All right, you can't be having a drug addiction. All right, in the truth. All right. So, like it says, 1 Corinthians 3:16, know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High, and that the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of the Most High, him shall the Most High destroy, for the temple of the Most High is holy, which temple ye are. You're the temple. All right, and here you are, you're polluting it with weed smoke, all right, tobacco smoke, all right, Xanax chemicals, all right, Oxycontin and Percocet chemicals, all right, lean chemicals, all right, and hey, the Most High is gonna mess you up for that, all right, and it's destroying, it's bad on all levels. The Most High is gonna destroy you, which is the one you really need to worry about, all right. It's destroying your body, all right. It's completely destroying your body. It fucks you up, all right. All your organs and everything, it's fucking you up. You're not gonna be healthy, all right, at all, okay. And you're gonna be reliant. It's gonna cost you money. There's nothing good, man. Well, it makes me feel good. Yeah, for what? An hour, and then you got to spend more money to go and feel good again? It's fucking dumb, man. We were all there at one point in time. We've all used, weird types of crazy drugs in our past. All right, we know almost all of us at least weed. Okay, almost all of us weed. Okay, we don't have to tell you here's all the drugs that I did. I did this and this and this. But trust me, quite a few of us did more than just weed, man. A lot of us messed around at parties. You know what goes around at parties. Okay, you can think of 3 or 4 drugs that come around at parties. Okay. And a lot of us have messed around with those type things as well. Okay, so hey, it's gonna, not only are you gonna get your ass whooped by the Most High, He's also gonna whoop you through your health. Okay, and it's gonna be making you feel ill, or you might overdose. He might just make, the way he might take you out is he might just make you overdose and die. All right, because when you're doing those things, that is witchcraft. All right, and you are a witch. And let's get it. That's the next scripture, is Exodus 22:18. Let's prove that you're a witch now. Okay, by doing these things. Exodus 22:18. Let's prove that you're a witch, right? Exodus 22:18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. All right. So that shows you shouldn't suffer a witch to live. Let's see the Good News Translation. It says, verse 18. It says, put to death any woman who practices magic. All right, any woman or man. All right. So let's go and get Exodus 22:18 in the Blue Letter Bible. So here it is. Exodus 22 and 18, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Here it is, a witch. And it goes back to, no, that's not the one. That goes back to, let's see. Well, we can get this. It says to practice witchcraft or sorcery, use witchcraft. Sorcerer, sorceress, participle. All right, to enchant or practice magic. A sorcerer, right? Sorcery, right? Let me see. Bear with me while I find it. I thought that was the one that went back to it. If not, it's the other one. I think it goes back to the word sorcerer, not witch. Yeah, yep. Yeah, okay, check this out. We'll go over there and read it. It's not the word witch, it's the word witchcraft. Okay? Same thing. Alright. It says, we'll start from 19 actually. It says, Galatians 5 and 19. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, that's the point, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. And that's a great one to get as well, because it's showing you if you're doing these things, you're not going to inherit the kingdom of the Most High. All right, if you're Jake, you're going to be in the kingdom, but you're going to have to die on this side first. Okay, you're going to have to die on this side first. All right, you're going to have to be put to death. Then you have to be reborn through the elect in the kingdom. Okay, so if you don't know what that means yet, I believe we did a lesson about the, the 2/3. Slakia. What was it? Yeah, salvation comes from predestination. We talked about the 2/3 and the 1/3 in there. Slakia. All right, so I think we've talked about it a few other times recently as well. But, oh yeah, why can't Granddaddy understand the truth? We talked about it in there. If you don't understand the 1/3 and the 2/3, go and watch those lessons. All right, most notably, salvation comes from predestination, not works. Go over there and check that out, all right? And then come back, and Lord willing, you'll be edified. So, if you do these things, you're not going to inherit the kingdom of the Most High. What are those things again? Well, we just read them. One of those things being, right here, witchcraft. Yep, witchcraft. Okay, so, let's hit it. Let's get Galatians 5 and 20. Here it is. You can see that it's in the Greek. All right, you can see it's in the Greek. Now, what does the word go back to in the original Greek? All right, witchcraft. Oh, look at this word, pharmakia. Let's click that. Okay.
Strong's G 5331. Pharmakia. Pharmakia.
All right, pharmakia. Now, check this out. The use or the administering of drugs. And then it goes poisoning, sorcery, magical arts, often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it. What pharmakia? All right. Pharmakia from G 5003 or 5332. We'll just say G 5332. Medication. Is that the root? Let me see. Let me go back up. Yeah, this is the root.
Strong's G 5332. Pharmakus.
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 All right, pharmakus. All right, sorcerer, one who prepares or uses magical remedies. And don't get it twisted. We use magical remedies, all right, as well, as in not like a witchcraft, but, herbalism. All right, herbalism. All right, and that's not what it's speaking of, all right, because, you can prove that within the Bible that herbalism is fine, all right, because, we can get is Ecclesiasticus 28:4. It says, "The Lord hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them." And abhor means hate. Okay, so that means, you know, you can use those things, and that's not what it's speaking of, a potion making or anything like that. No, like concoction and like tinctures and stuff like that, or a potion. No. All right, what is a potion? All right, and the Blue Letter Bible goes off sometimes. It's not, you know, it's not 100% perfect. A potion, a liquid with healing, magical, or poisonous properties. All right, with healing, it's healing. A concoction, a brew, elixir, right? A tincture, a medicine. There's nothing wrong with making a tincture, all right, or a concoction like a brew, all right. There's nothing wrong with that, or an elixir, all right. Certain herbs can be brewed down. Well, guess what? You know, if you drink a tea, that's really kind of almost a potion, because that's a tincture, all right, of the tea leaves. And so, right, coffee, that's a tincture almost, because you take the beans and then So yeah, you know, if you're going off of that, then you can't have coffee and you can't have tea and you can't have any type of herb that goes into water and gets boiled. All right, that's not what it's talking about. All right, it's talking about drugs. All right, the use of drugs. All right, and mind-altering drugs. All right, not as in the drugs that heal you, but drugs. All right, and that's so the root word goes off. All right, and you know, Esau obscures as much as they possibly can to throw you off from the real meaning. All right, but the first definition, it says the use or administration of drugs. All right, and this isn't speaking of natural drugs. All right, this is speaking of, you know, chemically ass drugs. All right, things that aren't used to heal. Like, you know, for example, there was an example of, you know, what is it? Was it date paste? All right, fig, all right, fig being, you know, placed it upon a wound, all right, and that's not a drug, all right, as in this state, all right. This is speaking of something completely different, all right. The use or administration, the use or the administering of drugs, and you just have to have the mind to understand what we're talking about, okay. This is speaking of, you know, the use of drugs, all right, drugs, okay. That's pharmakeia, okay. So, and another thing. Let's see, here's this. And it goes back to idol worship, all right, if you ever seen it. There it is, that's the one right there. Cephalus, is that what they call it? That's not the one. What is that? Caduceus, that's what it was.
Caduceus.
An ancient Greek or Roman herald's wand, typically one with two serpents twined about it, carried by the messenger Hermes or Mercury. Now, a wand, what does a wand do? Alright. A stick or rod thought to have magical properties, held by a magician, fairy, or conjurer, and used in casting spells or performing tricks. So there you go. Why would they have that? And if you look up Walgreens, out in front of the building, or is it CVS? It might be CVS, let me see. One of them has it. I know, because I've seen this shit recently. I'm pretty sure it was Walgreens. Let me see. We'll find it. I wonder if they recently removed it, because it was definitely there. I remember because I saw it one time. on the building. So they do change sometimes, because that one's got the little mortar and pestle. There's one I saw one time, man. It's got to be there, man. It's got to be there. There's one of them that had as they call it, the caduceus or whatever the fuck. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe I'm losing it. But anyway, going back to the point at hand, pharmakia means the use or administration of drugs, and that's not speaking of, a natural type remedy. Now, it can be if you're using it to get high. All right. For example, cannabis does have its place. Okay. Now, as use of as a medicine. Now, you can't be smoking it, because then it turns into a drug. All right, like a drug. All right. And when we're saying drug, all right, we're not speaking of a healing remedy. All right. When we're saying drug, when someone says, "Oh, I'm gonna go do some drugs," all right, you want to go do some drugs tonight? Let's go do some drugs, all right. When they say that, they're not talking about going and rubbing some date paste or some fig paste on their leg, all right. They're not talking about fixing their back pain. Let's go do some drugs, because my arm's really been killing me, so I need to find a remedy to heal my arm. I was thinking about, putting a brace with some sticks, and then, maybe I could rub a topical ointment on top of it. They're not speaking of that. Okay, when someone says I'm going to go do some drugs, what are they saying? They're going to go get fucked up. They're going to use some cocaine. They're going to use some heroin, some methamphetamine. All right, they're going to smoke some weed. All right, they're going to do this. They're going to go do that. Pop a pill, all right, a perky, all right, an Adderall or something, all right? Depending on, I want to get up or I want to get down, all right? First I'll get up, then I'll get down. All right, so that's what we're talking about. All right, we're not talking about healing as in and really like even stuff like Advil and ibuprofen is a drug, and you shouldn't really be and that's your discretion if you want to use that. But that even falls under that category, man. All right, there's natural remedies, like it says, the Most High gave us these things, and he who is wise will not abhor them. All right, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so you can heal naturally. For example, lavender and peppermint. All right, boil that down in a tea. That gets rid of a headache just as good as a pill would. All right, and that's a natural remedy from the earth that the Most High gave us. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, that you're not going to get fucked up and party off of a little bit of lavender and peppermint. All right, you'll get sick. You could drink so much you probably just end up getting sick before you end up getting anything that would feel any remotely euphoric. All right. So the use or administration of drugs. We're talking about the use, for euphoria. All right. Now let's look up what that means. Not the show. Euphoria. All right. Check this out. Euphoria, the experience of affective pleasure, excitement, intense feelings of well-being and happiness. Okay? It says certain drugs, many of which are addictive, can cause euphoria, which at least partially motivates their recreational use. All right? The drugs that cause euphoria, okay? Like that. For example, cannabis can be used. Okay? Cannabis can be used, not smoked, but it can be used in certain applications for healing. Okay? If you got a bad back or something like that, you can get a low or no THC topical ointment or something, all right, and rub it on the back, or an ointment or a tincture, even something that you take orally, all right, such as a tincture or a liquid, all right. And if it's for helping your back, it's for helping your back. Now, as it's recommended, you speak with one of the elders or higher, all right, apostles on that, all right, because it's a use. That's one of those use your own discretion type situations. I personally don't feel comfortable with it. All right, there's other ways to heal pain besides that, but it is, certain of these things that have been turned into drugs were natural things that were given to us by Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, for example, our two biggest painkillers are known to be heavily abused. All right, and those two biggest, three big painkillers are commonly abused. Okay, and they're natural, but they get turned into a pharmakeia, all right, a drug, all right, witchcraft, all right, and those three things are cannabis, all right, excellent pain remover, all right, in its natural state, it wasn't pumped full of THC like it is now. That's been genetically modified, all right. It was actually more CBD heavy, all right, which is actually the pain healing ingredient, okay. So cannabis, all right, and these are in no particular order. Well, I guess we'll go from least strong to strongest. All right, number 2, all right, would be the coca leaf, all right, which is commonly taken and refined into what? Cocaine. All right, but if you look at the coca leaf, all right, check it out. It says coca is any of the 4 plants in the family so-and-so native to Western South America. Coca is known worldwide for its psychoactive alkaloid, cocaine. It's not naturally cocaine, but look what it can do when it's not turned into a fucking some crazy drug. Where is it at? Where was it? Where was it? Anyway, it's somewhere in here, and it does have a euphoric effect, they say, all right, by just chewing on it. But the thing was, I watched a documentary a long time ago, and they'd use it for dental pain, okay? They'd use it dental pain, all right? It contains a cocaine alkaloid, and it's not cocaine itself. They take this and fucking process the fuck out of it, all right? Just like the next thing we're going to talk about, all right? And it may be released through chewing or consumed in a powder-like form. No, we're talking about the chewing of it, all right? Not the snorting up your fucking nose, all right? In its natural state, all right? If you had dental pain or dental issue or jaw issues, all right, it was a numbing. It was something like, now they just tell you to use Orajel, all right? But this was, a numbing solution for the mouth, all right? When used and not in trying to go, I'm gonna get fucking high, I'm gonna chew 35 leaves, but no, it would numb your mouth, all right? Now, that's something that more than likely, could have been originally used for instead of being used for a fucking drug. So there's another powerful one that numbs your mouth if you're having terrible dental problems. All right, when you're using it for something good and not to just get high, and you use it on the right side and not on the left-hand side. All right, it's the same thing with a lot of these all these herbs were given by Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Some are to be used, some aren't to be used. I'm not going to go, what about magic mushrooms? What does that do? Does that heal anything? No, it just gets you high. Okay? It doesn't heal pain or do anything. It just gets you fucking high and makes you hallucinate. Fuck that shit. All right? That's not a medicine. All right? So continuing on, the three or four biggest painkillers have been abused, all right? Marijuana naturally, all right, in its natural state. Coca in its natural state, all right? And the other one being opium, all right? Now, opium's what they commonly... If I could hit it. Opium's what they make heroin out of it, right? They make heroin out of it. So, a reddish brand scented addictive drug paired for the juice of the opium poppy, used as a narcotic and in medicine as an analgesic. I can't even pronounce that. But the thing is, we're going to get it. Heroin comes from the poppy. Oxys, Vicodins, and Percocets all come from opium, all right? But they put a bunch of other fucking chemicals in it. The natural thing is it's just a look. This is all it is. That's it. That's all it is right there. That's it. All right? And I think that's the juice right there. All right? But that's, what is it's a what is this?
Analgesic.
Analgesic. What does it mean? Acting to relieve pain. Pain relieving. Okay? It's a pain reliever. All right? But people don't use it, this was more than likely used in bad, so if you snap your leg or something's really bad, man, all right, and you're really in pain, something like that could have been used. But what did people start doing it? All right, even back in the old days, all right, smoking it, opium pipes and all that stuff. No, all right, you can use it without smoking it. All right, opium historical use. Look, opium was known to ancient Greek and Roman physicians, and they weren't the ones that figured it out, as a powerful pain reliever. It was also used to induce sleep and to give relief from the bowels. I'm not sure about that, but you know, I'm not sure how you can always take it. I'm sure there's multiple other ways other than smoking, because you can also ingest it, because that's how, you know, you take the painkiller, right? The pill, and it helps. So it doesn't have to be smoked. So I'm sure you could, you know, grind it up and make some type of tea out of it, or put it into a tea or something like that. If someone was really in pain, I'm gonna get fucked up. That's how people started using it. But all the biggest painkillers get abused, all right, and they've got turned into other things. You know, they went to opium, and now there's fucking, you know, Vicodin, all right, and Percocet, and they went to the coca leaf that was numbing. All right, now it's cocaine. All right, and marijuana, which originally could have been used in a tea or something, however it could have been used, you know, for a sedative effect. All right, now it's, you know, smoked in fucking moon rocks and dabs and wax pins and shit. You know, they're all being used on the left-hand side instead of just a healing. Those aren't something that you just go and fucking use for fun. All right, those are supposed to be used if you're really in pain, man. Okay, like all the other, all herbs have a use, man. All right, aside from some of the poisonous ones, but you know, herbs have a use. You know, you're not just gonna go and, you know, take something to take something. Okay, you're not gonna take something to take something. All right, it doesn't make any sense. All right, lavender can help for sleep and headaches, and same with peppermint, and you can do this and that. You know, and you know, and you can, oh, well, I'm just using it. Well, why doesn't anybody, you know, ever go and smoke lavender then? Why doesn't anybody go and smoke peppermint? All right, why? What's wrong with it? Why is it always weed and these other drugs? Because you're not doing it to heal yourself. You're doing it to get fucked up. All right, so enough with the excuses, Jake. That's witchcraft. That's witchcraft. If you're using something on the right hand side as to heal a pain or an ailment, all right, that's different. All right, you go, you know, for example, you can use lavender and mint. All right, but if you in a tea or however you want to use it, or eat it or however you want to do it, but as soon as you take lavender and mint and then you add you know, this, and you come over here and add this, and then you start smoking it, that's a drug, man. That's pharmakeia. That's witchcraft. You just made a drug out of it. All right, because you're not supposed to be smoking in general. All right, and here you are, you know, you're gonna smoke lavender, but Jake don't smoke lavender. Why? Because they only smoke weed. Why? Because it fucks them up. Okay, and we had to go on a little tangent there, but you know, that's a drug. All right, if you can get it, you can get it. If you can't, you can't. You go, well, oh, that's all drugs. You're trying to justify your drugs. Those are drugs too. Everything's drugs. If that's the case, lavender is a drug. In that case, peppermint's a drug. Get out of here, Jake. Get out of here, Jake. You don't understand what we're talking about. This obviously is not for you. All right. Are you getting high off of it? Well, yeah. Then get good and go away. All right. Then go away. Well, don't you get high off of opium? If it's used in a natural state and not to just get fucked up, it's a sedative. Yes, it's gonna make you feel different. All right, that's what relieves the pain. All right, and now we're not telling, you know, and this I'm talking about historically. I'm not saying fucking go and grow poppies in your yard and use them. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying historically, all these things that were natural, very strong painkillers have been turned into something wicked on the left-hand side by putting it into drugs and opioid pills and weed pens with fucking 350 milligrams of THC. And I know there's not that many, but several 100,000 milligrams of THC fucks you up. All right, for hours. All right, that ain't the state. Weed naturally was more CBD heavy, and they bred it to be more THC heavy. CBD heals the pain. THC makes you feel fucked up. There's a difference. Okay, there's a difference. For example, if you just get the extract of CBD, use it all day, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with CBD. It's a pain healer, and it's not gonna get you fucked up. All right, it might make you feel a little tired, but you're not gonna feel high at all. You won't feel high at all. That's why Jake doesn't just go and use CBD and rub CBD lotion all over themselves, because they don't want it. Because they don't want the pain healing aspect. They want to get fucked up, and that's witchcraft. Getting fucked up is witchcraft. Getting all fucked up and high and turnt is witchcraft. In Exodus 22:18, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Back in the day, biblically, you would have been put to death. All right, walking around you got caught puffing on an opium pipe. All right, or puffing on some cannabis. All right, you would have been put to death Okay? You would have been put to death for doing that because you're being a witch. All right. Well, what if it was opium tea because my leg had been broken and ripped off? No, then you wouldn't have. All right. Then you wouldn't have, more than likely, unless you were using it to get fucked up somehow. But if you're doing it to heal the pain on a right-hand side, all right, not on the left, just getting fucked up. And trust me, we don't have to tell you anything. You don't have to tell us anything. The Most High knows if you're using it to get fucked up or not. Okay? That's you and the Most High. The Most High knows if you're using it to get fucked up. Well, I'm just really in pain. Are you though? We can't tell. Maybe you are in pain, but the Most High knows, and He's gonna mess you up. You don't have to worry about us. You don't have to worry about us. You have to worry about the Most High. The Most High is the one that's gonna jack you up, not us. Okay? We're not gonna, oh, look at him, he's smoking, and we're gonna go punch everybody that's smoking or puffing on weed or using heroin or shooting up on the street. We're gonna kick him. Fuck you fucking. No, we're not gonna do that. It's not the time nor the place, man. Okay, the Most High is gonna get them. The Most High is going to get them. Okay, so if you want to go and do all that, hey, go and do that away from us. All right, you go and be dumb somewhere else. All right, we don't want to be around you. We told you. You're gonna argue and say, oh, well, witchcraft is this, that, and this, blah, 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 blah. No, we already told you what it is. All right, no, witchcraft is when you get a pentagram. Yeah, that's another type of witchcraft as in a form of idolatry. Okay, but using drugs is witchcraft as well. Okay, there's more than one definition for a term. All right, more than one definition for an item, I should say, or more than one term for a definition. All right. Many definitions have many sub-definitions within them, all right, or sub-examples, okay? So, again, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. Not Ecclesiastes, but Exodus 22 and 18, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live, all right? You either get it or you don't, all right? And we talked about how these things were used naturally. But Esau and all these other people came and fucked it on up. For example, the opium dens, I believe all those started over in Asia, all right? Opium den. Where did they originate from? Oh. Opium dens were prevalent in many parts of the world by the 19th century, most notably China, Southeast Asia, North America, of course, and France. But, it says through the West, opium dens were frequented by and associated with the Chinese because the establishments were usually ran by Chinese mobsters who supplied the opium and prepared it for visiting non-Chinese smokers. Mostly China. China, heathens, right? Chinese, heathens. They're Ammonites, right? There you go. So does this look something natural? No, it doesn't look fucking natural. It looks like they're all fucked up and retarded. There you go. Laying around all fucked up and high. No, that's not natural, man. All right? Try to leave that up on the screen a little bit longer because I'm going to hold this and let me grab a drink because maybe it'll give us this as an option to be used as a thumbnail. As a matter of fact, I'm going to save it just in case because that's a perfect example of what fucking it is now over in London. All right, that's over in London, but not now. But that's the example of how people are today. They get fucked up and look, it's a room. They're having a party, man. This is a party. This is what year was this? Fictional accounts of the day. I don't know what like 1891, I guess. All right, 1800s. Okay, there you go. Still like that to this day. People getting fucked up. All right, rare photo of two women outside of Ah Tsing's opium den from the London Science Museum. There you go. There you go. And that's the state of people of this day. And this is a real one right here. All right. Open image, new window. Let's see. Hell, I don't even know which one to use. They're both good. We'll use the one that we stayed with. We'll stay with the one we used. But hey, man, when you take it and you do it something like that, that ain't natural, man. All right, and they were smoking them. All right, and anyway, if you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. We're gonna continue to move on. Now, who started it? Where did it say it came from? Who started it? China, Chinese. All right, that's what they're called now, but they're really the Ammonites. All right. Ammonites that the Bible speaks of, all right? They're the modern day Chinese, all right? So, not that every so-called Chinese person is an Ammonite. Some of them might even be Jakes, and they call themselves Chinese, all right? But the people that are actually Chinese, they're Ammonites, okay? Quote-unquote so-called Chinese, right? So, let's see. Let's go over to Jeremiah 10 and 2. So you got to learn the definitions of the difference between things, man. You just got to have discernment. The Most High's got to be dealing with you, okay? Because the use of drugs, yes, but drugs, and it's going to say, oh, a healing topical solution or a potion. No, you can do that. All right, the elders and apostles have told us that. All right, and even some brothers or elders have made videos on certain tinctures that you can make. All right, garlic honey and certain things like that. Is that witchcraft? Are you going off if you use garlic honey? No, absolutely not. Are you going off if you drink a cup of tea? No. A cup of coffee? No. Well, what about if I put lavender and peppermint and I mix in a little bit of cinnamon with it and I boil it down and boil it into a tea? Are you going off? No, you're not. What if you boil it to some point and you get it down to it's just like almost like a syrup, like an extract, and you put that into a thing and you keep that, and that's used for headache. Is that pharmakia? Is that witchcraft? Is that drug use? No. All right, that's healing, herbal healing. Okay. What if you take that same thing, you put it in a pipe and smoke it? Is that drug use? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, because you're using it on the left-hand side. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. All right. Same thing if you took any normal thing. All right, that's fine. And you took a stone. I'm saying stone because I see them on my desk. You took a piece of pyrite, right? You have it. That's nice. Now you crush it up and trying to smoke it and try to get high off of it. You're being a witch, man. And the Most High is going to put you to death for that. All right. And these things were learned not from us. This isn't a natural Jake custom. We might have used certain things, and I'm not saying 100% we use opium and things like that, if those were things available to us. But I wouldn't be surprised, as in the fact that those are our strongest natural painkillers. All right. Things like opium, things like marijuana, things like coca, but they've been tainted because people refined those things, and they're not using them in their natural state. They're refining them and turning them into a drug. All right, pharmakia, making chemicals out of them. All right, they started smoking opium and then refining opium and then put it into pills and all this fucking shit. All right, they took weed naturally or cannabis, marijuana in its natural state, which was useful, high in CBDs, low in THCs, and they switched it around, made it low in CBD, high in THC, low in the stuff that heals you, high in the stuff that fucks you up. And then they took coca naturally that you could chew on, and it would heal mouth and gum problems, and well, not heal, but it would numb the pain until you could get something fixed. And they refined it, got the powder out of it, and snorted up their goddamn nose and added other chemicals to it and made cocaine out of it. All right, so they took three natural things that could be used for natural pain healing and not just to get fucked up, and they turned it into something just to get fucked up and turned it into witchcraft. All right, they turned it into witchcraft. Okay, who did these things? The heathens. All right, the heathens. We learned these things from the heathen. All right, the opium word. Who's doing that? The Chinese Ammonites. That's not a Jake culture to smoke opium. All right, you heard some of the Native Americans doing it, but where did that wasn't like that at that time. They're also worshiping, Gaia and all this weird shit, Mother Earth. All right, and the sun god and all these things, right? So our people have gone off. Okay, our people have gone off, but originally those weren't our customs. So if they're not our custom, they came from someone else. Who are the other people that aren't Israelites? Heathens. So those are heathen customs. And Jeremiah 10 and 2 says what? Jeremiah 10 and 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Let's read it again. Jeremiah 10 and 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. And if you read down to 3 and 4, what does that sound awfully similar to? Let's read it. Verse 3, for the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, and the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold. Silver and gold, silver and gold. The Christmas song, right? You gotta think. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. Let's go. What is this? Christmas tree base. What does this do? This is the modern version, right? This is the modern version. Can I get a picture of it? We all know one of these. I've used them several times throughout my life. All right. Yes, we all did Christmas at one point in time. I remember being a kid and doing it. Where's the one that everybody had? I saw it up ahead. This is the one that everybody had right up here. This shit, right? So we'll just use that. This is the one that everybody had. That's the one we had. All right, at least. All right. So you put it in this little pot. All right, and these are like the screws, and you twist them in as hard as you can, and it makes it to what? Here's another one that a lot of us had. This is another one. All right. So you twist it in, twist it in, twist it in, and then what? The tree won't move. All right? The tree won't move. So going back, it says they deck it with silver and gold. Silver and gold Christmas. There you go. You see, it's a Christmas song. All right. If you just go to Christmas, you'll see tinsel. Oh, look at that! A very famous Christmas color, folks. Other than the other one, besides green and red, silver and gold. They've made a whole song out of it. Silver and gold. We all know it, right? Everybody knows that song. It's one of the big, popular, famous ones. So, again, that's not our custom either. Might as well touch on that since it was in the same scripture, all right? Or the same chapter. All right, they deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and hammers that it move not. There you go. All right, again, ways of the heathen. All right, well, that's not our way. We never did that. That's not our way. We learned that way from who? The heathen. Just like, you know, all these smoking opium, all the things. That's not our way. We learned those things from who? The heathen. And what were we told? What were we told? Starting up for verse 1, Jeremiah 10:1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. And that's another thing, the sign of heaven. So all the things happening, don't be dismayed at them. The heathen are. They have a reason to be dismayed at them. But Jake, if you're in the, if you're in the right spirit, you shouldn't have anything to worry about. But a lot of you do worry too, because you're in the spirit of the heathen. All right, you're coming in like manner of the heathen. You're learning all the heathen customs. You're dressing like the heathens. You're acting like the heathens. All right, acting like the oppressor. And the oppressor is the one that put a lot of these pharmakia or pharmakias into your areas, Jake. All right, crack cocaine, there's a big one. All right, heroin now. All right, and fentanyl and all these different fucking things. All right, this is Proverbs 3:31. Let's go over there. It says, envy not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Who's the oppressor? Who's oppressing us? Who's shooting us down in the street right now? Who's making it to where we can't get a decent paying job right now? Who's making it to where, we have to put, sell all of our shit? All right, who's making it, who? Esau Edom. Who's Esau Edom? The so-called white man. All right, that's our oppressor. He's oppressing us. All right, and he's being, orchestrated and controlled by the Most High, right? So that's our oppressor, all right? Esau Edom. Okay, and we're not supposed to choose any of his ways. And what's his way? All right, drug use, homosexuality, witchcraft. Drug use, pharmakia. All right, drug use. All right, or we'll just say witchcraft in general. Witchcraft, homosexuality, what else? All sorts of weird bestiality, all sorts of weirdo shit. That's their way. That's the way the oppressor are. And it says, envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. What does it mean to envy someone? What does that mean? Envy. What does it mean? It says, envy, a feeling of discontented and resentful. A discontented and resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck. All right, envy, desire to have a quality, possession, or other desirable attribute belonging to someone else. And a lot of you people envy Esau, especially so-called black women, all right? Because you get the blonde, long, straight hair. And it looks ridiculous, Jake. You're beautiful as it is, right? Being natural. But, you know, these N-dubs, all right, you can put together, deduce what that stands for. All right, these so-called black women, what they do is they cut all their natural hair all down until it's all short and almost bald, you know, or they just, you know, have it all messed up because they don't take care of it. And what they do is they put sew-ins or weaves or wigs. And what is it? They never, you know, it's never natural looking hair that they do it. All right, it's always straight hair, straight blonde hair, straight red hair, right? And what do they do with it? They make it's all straight, and then what do? Then they you know, put blue contacts in, which is ridiculous. You're trying to look like someone. You're trying to look like an ugly wildebeest, Jake. All right, Esau ain't cute. All right, they ain't. All right, and you're trying to look like them for what? You're way better looking than them. All right, and here you are. You're trying to look at it like a fucking ran down ass white woman that don't even look good in the first place. Okay, that don't even look good in the first place, and then you do it, Jake, and it really don't look good on you. And you're stooping to low. Here you are. You're the true beauty. All right, and you're trying to look like a fucking caveman over here. It's fucking retarded. It's fucking retarded, Jake. All right, but a lot of our people, not just the women, have envied the oppressor. And Jake, the women, what are they doing? They're bleaching their skin. All right, putting in blue contacts, wearing those blonde wigs or weaves, and the men are doing what? Trying to get yachts. All right, dressing all business professional. All right, you know, shaving their face. All right, down to the brim. All right, like the Romans did. All right, and they're envying the oppressor as well. Both men and women of our nation, man. It's fucking ridiculous, man. As it says in Proverbs 3:30, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. And one of those ways was drugs. Drugs. Esau loves drugs. They're the drug addict. They're the biggest drug addict. Oh, you know, these fucking black people and these beaners walking around, they're drug addicts. Oh, they're bringing drugs to our neighborhood. The black people and the Mexicans and the Native Americans bringing drugs to your neighborhood. What are you talking about? Those real nice, rich, white areas that you call them somehow got heroin in it. All right, and fentanyl in it. How did that happen? Because now the curses are springing back on you. You're trying to get a taste of what we've gone through. All right, now you're all fucked up, and now you old women have to deal with your 22-year-old son overdosing on fentanyl. All right, in your backyard of your real nice so-called white neighborhood, and we don't give a shit because you never gave a shit when we were dying out and you know our people were dying out in the hood. All right, when you went there and put crack into the hood. All right. And we didn't have to go in and bring fentanyl into your neighborhoods. You know who brought it? Your jacked up ass drug addict son. Because you know what? These heathens, these so-called white people, are inherently drug addicts. They look. You ever seen? You know, if you ever look at Jake. You know, you see some drug addict Jakes. There's a lot more drug addict so-called white people, man. All right, laying around all over the goddamn street, fucking gacked out and geeking. Man, I'm so fucked up, man. Shooting heroin up their fucking arm, blood squirting all over the fucking place, backfiring from the fucking needle. All right, all fucked up, shit in their pants, smelling like shit. Dirty ass, fucking dread-headed ass, smelly ass fucking hippies and bums laying all over the goddamn street. All right, all fucked up on all sorts of fucking pills and crack and crank and which is crack or speed or fucking meth. These fucking meth heads, man. You know how many fucking meth heads there are out there? And you know who does meth predominantly? White people, so-called white people. You don't see a whole bunch of Jake on meth. All right, Jake, you know, their thing is mostly like weed, and crack. All right, coke. All right, and like what else? Like certain hallucinogens. All right, and then the opioids. But they started doing that by hanging out with white folk because that's their thing. All right, that's their thing. So. Because it was okay for them, because it was prescribed, and then they didn't end up getting their prescription anymore, and they had to go to the street and get heroin. And then now they got fentanyl because the heroin don't work for them because it ain't strong enough. All right, and then Jake started hanging around those people, and now they're on it. All right, but that's what Jake did. And the whole crack and cocaine situation, who introduced that? All right, Esau. But that's the main things that Jake do. You see him all fucked up on the street. You see him there either. Well, if you see him real fucked up on the street, it's usually coke or crack. All right, it's really bad. That's the Jake one. The Jake one's crack, and the Edomite one's meth. All right, and there's a visible difference. You can tell. You can learn to spot a crackhead over a meth head pretty quick. And there's some Jake that do. There's some Jake that do meth, just like there's some Edomites that do crack. All right, Hunter Biden's one. He smokes crack. He's a so-called white person, an Edomite, right? So, But you don't see a whole bunch of Jake on meth, all right? So that's more of an Edomite thing. And there's a lot of fucking Edomites on meth, man. You go to Arizona, whoo, boy, you're gonna see a whole bunch of Edomites on meth, all right? It'd be hard to go a whole day without seeing one Edomite on meth over there, all right? They're over there. They're over there, man. They're over there. Anyway, you know, so those are the ways of the oppressor. They always say, oh, you fucking drug addicts, you fucking drug addicts. But who's the one doing the most drugs? Esau, all fucked up and all over the goddamn place. On a day-to-day basis, I see more Edomite drug addicts. All right, now of course you got Jake that smoke a lot of weed, but here in Vegas, everybody smokes weed. Everything smells like weed. You go outside and it's scented like weed. All right, you go in your car and you roll down your window on the freeway, you smell weed. All right, you go into your business and you're standing there checking people out, and it smells like weed. All right, it's just weed everywhere, man. You roll by a building and it smells like weed. You get out and you go into a Barnes & Noble and it smells like weed. Everything just smells like weed here because it's illegal. All right, everybody's smoking it. You're going on a walk or walking your dog or something. You walk by your neighbor's house. It smells like weed because they're sitting outside smoking. All right, so everything just smells like weed now. All right, and you got a lot of people, smoking weed and doing weed. A lot of witchcraft going around. But at the same time, when I'm talking about and that is witchcraft. That is bad. All right, but I'm talking about the drug addicts. All right, and you are an addict if you smoke weed all the fucking time. But you know what I'm talking about. The visible ones. They're all fucked up, scratching their arm, walking around, smelling like they just pissed themselves because they probably have. All right, hey man, you got $5, man? Those fucking people. All right, those people. You see more Edomites like that than Jake. All right, you see Jake like that. But you see more Edomites, okay? You see more Edomites in that state, okay? Because that's their way. That's how they are, all right? And you shouldn't be choosing any of those ways. As Proverbs 3:30 says, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Why would you envy Esau? If you really knew who Esau was, Jake and the world, they don't know because they don't know who Esau is. But if they really knew who Esau was, they would never choose any of his ways. If they would know that, the Most High is orchestrating all the things that they do, and the Most High's had to, basically give them knowledge in certain things, because if not, they're too dumb to even control a country. They're being orchestrated on the left-hand side, by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay? Because without the Lord, they wouldn't have even been able to. The Lord's using them, all right, as a punishment tool for us. All right, for the day of evil, and even the wicked, and created all things, even the wicked, for the day of evil, right? So, if they were in their natural state without the Most High, being a puppeteer for them, all right, and they don't even realize that the Most High has given them all the information that they've known. Without the Most High doing that, they're dumb. They're naturally dumb as a fucking brick, man. All right, they're dumb as shit. All right, you'd never choose their ways. All right. They're never a fucking caveman. Would you choose a caveman's ways, Jake? Because that's who they are. That's who Esau Edom is. They're a caveman. All right, they're a caveman. They're the actual caveman, the wood woos, right? Sitting in a cave, ooh gaga, ooh ba, all that shit, fucking, scratching their ass and shit, and whacking things with sticks, eating raw meat. They still love doing that, right? You wouldn't choose their ways, but you're doing it, Jake, because that's who these people are. All right, that's who they are. That's just the Most High has given them the appearance of look what we can do. But all those things, all electronic stuff, that was stole from Jake. All the inventions were stole from Jake, all right? So you wouldn't choose their ways if you knew who they really were, all right? But you don't know because you don't know nothing, Jake. But anyway, let's get to Revelation 21:8. If you want to continue to be a drug addict, hey, we can't stop you at the end of the day. But we're going to let you know that this is what's coming to you, all right? And we've talked long enough. I don't even know how long. Over an hour. Almost an hour and a half. Revelation 21:8. This is what's coming to you, Jake, because you're a witchcraft, right? You're into witchcraft. You're a witch, all right? You're a sorcerer. You're into sorcery, right? Revelation 21:8. It says 7. We're going to actually get from 7. Revelation 21:7. It says, he that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. All right, and that's coming, all right, when Yahushua comes back to dead this place, okay, to save his elect and dead this place, all right? So that's what's coming to you, Okay, if you're any of those things, a fearful, unbelieving, abominable, murderer, right, a whoremonger, all right, sorcerer, idolater, a liar, right, all those things. Hey, guess what? If you're one of those things, guess what? And you don't repent and stop doing those things, guess what? That's where you're going, straight to the lake that burneth with fire, the lake of fire. That's where you're going. All right, that's where you're going. But Jake don't care. Jake ain't even listening. Jake ain't even here right now. All right. You know, other than a few brothers and sisters, all right, that are on the comment board. Jake too busy, right now to fucking P. Diddy party or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know, whatever they're doing, going getting turned up. That's what they're doing right now. They're not here at this lesson. The people we're talking about, they're not here right now. All right, they're not here. They wouldn't do something as smart as watch one of these lessons. All right, not necessarily. I'm not bigging myself up. I'm talking about a lesson, about Yahweh Shem Shai in the Bible. They're not smart enough to be involved in something like this. All right, or be especially on the Apostles page. All right, if they go over there, it's just a scoff. All right. It's just there to scoff. All right, so Jake, the people we're talking about aren't even here right now. All right, they might be a scoff for a split second, but they don't hang around a lot. All right, because they're too busy going and finding weed and heroin and all these things else to do. All right, to go and get fucked up and party and hang out and go and get with some other man's wife. That's what they're busy doing. All right, so they're just waiting to be destroyed. They're just missile food. All right, they're just walking around missile targets. That's all they are. That's all they are. All right, and they're not here. But hey, this is for you brothers and sisters to keep you in check. All right, this is to keep us in line and say, hey man, I'm not going to do that. Especially if you used to be an ex-smoker. All right, I used to smoke cigarettes a lot. All right, cigarellos and cigars too. All right, but when you come in and and I used to smoke weed and all these other things, right? But and especially the cigarettes, man. Especially that's the hardest one. When you go by someone and like, for example, especially in Vegas, like the casinos or whatever, which I don't frequent, but when my family comes down, that's where they want to go. So and you smell the cigarettes or something like that. That's a very hard demon to pull. It'll be like, oh, come on, you should just ask for one. Just don't ask him for a smoke. He'll probably give you one. And then you gotta say, no, I ain't doing that. Fuck that. It ain't worth it, because the Most High will mess me up if I do that. All right, it's from the fear of the Lord, right? So, but a lot of Jake don't have the fear of the Lord, and that's why they're, using dope, all right, shooting up and all these different types of things, all right, because they don't fear the Lord, right? And the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, as the scripture says, but a lot of Jake don't have that wisdom because they don't fear the Lord. And if you don't fear the Lord, well, boy, that gives you all the more. If you don't fear the Lord, you should fear the Lord, because not fearing the Lord is something to be fearful about, okay? So, because, hey, man, people that don't fear the Lord's going to give you something to fear. Back in the day, when you get an ass whooping, your dad, oh, don't cry, I'll give you something to cry about. All right, the Lord's going to give you something to cry about. You think it's bad now. Oh, man, I don't fear the Lord. He's going to give you something to fear him about, all right? He's going to whoop you so hard. I don't envy you at all. Revelation 22:11 down through 12 reads, and if you want to keep on doing those things and using drugs and pharmakeia and witchcraft and sorcery and all these different things, and I'm gonna go hang out with my white friends and what is it? What's that fucking Juice WRLD song? The white bends, doing cocaine with my white friends. Switch up to the black bends, sipping codeine with my black friends. You want to be in that lifestyle, all right, and puffing and smoking and doing all this crazy, weirdo shit, going to the opium dens, not that I don't probably still have them to this day, but you want to do all that stuff, well, hey, cool. You can do that, all right? You can do that. No one's going to stop you, all right? The Lord's going to stop you. We're not going to go and stop and smack the cigarette out of your face or, take that joint. Don't smoke this marijuana, brother. We're not going to take the opium pipe right out of your hand. Psst, give me that opium pipe and smash it on the ground. We're not going to do that. We're not going to take the needle from you. No. Because the scripture says, hey, what does it say? Revelation 22:11. It says, he that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still. Verse 12, it says, and behold, and this is in red. So who's this speaking? This is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they might have the right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city. So, if you're doing good things, good reward. Doing bad things, bad reward. As it says, I behold, and verse 12 it says, and behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according to as his work shall be. So if you're doing bad works, you're going to get bad things. You're doing good works, you're going to get good things. All right, another way to look at it is think about what you're doing, and would you do it in front of Yahweh Shai? All right, if Yahweh Shai was walking on the earth right now and he was standing in front of you, would you be smoking that black and mild? Would you be puffing that weed pipe? All right, would you be smoking that cigarette? Would you be shooting up heroin? Would you be snorting up cocaine through your nose? All right, would you be doing those things? Would you do that in front of Yahweh Shai? If Yahweh Shai was here right now, would you still put that coke up on that mirror, chop it up with that razor blade, and snort it? Would you do it in front of him? All right, would you still roll up that blunt in front of Yahweh Shai and smoke it in front of his face? Would you still do it? Would you still smoke the cigarette? Would you still, puff up a big old Cuban cigar and light it up and sit back, or smoke on your cob pipe? All right. Would you still do it? Would you still inject? Would you still take that needle and fill it up and burn that? However they do it, you burn that spoon and put it in the needle, or however they do it, and then and inject that. Would you still do it? Probably not, right? Probably not. You wouldn't want to do that in front of the Lord. And some of you, Jake, are so wicked that you would. But would you feel comfortable doing it? You wouldn't feel comfortable. So why would you do it? Because you're technically in front of Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, the Father through the Son, sees everything. Okay? And, it's being known what you're done. It's being known what you're doing and what you have done. It's known. Okay? So it might as well be Yahweh Shai in front of you, because he knows what you're doing. All right? He knows what you're doing. Okay? And a lot of you would feel too ashamed to do that in front of him. Okay? So that shows you, think about that. Think about that. So that's been milk. Drug use is witchcraft. All right? Drug use is smoking cigarettes and smoking cigars and chewing tobacco, and we all used to do it, man. I used to smoke cigarettes, I used to smoke cigars, and I used to chew tobacco. All right? I used to do the regular chewing tobacco, like the big long strands, like Red Man or Beech Nut. All right, and I also used to do like the regular, like can that they call dip. Skull and Copenhagen. All right, Grizzly Wintergreen. Right. So hey, all those things, man. I tried nasal snuff, all of it. I used to smoke, drink, and all, not anything's wrong with drinking. All right, but I used to do all those things, man. Weed. All right. But we stopped. How? We stopped through the Spirit and the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because we're not supposed to do those things. Okay? We're not supposed to do those things. So, and hey, and the water Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai for bringing those, those demons off of us. Because those were demons. The smoking demon, right? The smoking demon, the drug-using demon. All right? You got to pray for those demons to come up off you. Hey, because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai will take those demons off you, but you have to have faith. You have to pray. You have to trust in him, right? But, That's for, and we're blessed to be able to have received that. And I'm glad I'm not, doing any of those things anymore. It's good on my pocket. It's good on my health. And most notably, it's good for, in the eyes of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, because he doesn't want me doing those things. He doesn't want you doing those things, you brothers and sisters out there. So don't do them, man. If you're struggling with smoking or drug use or whatever it is, the one way to look at it is, look, you need exhortation, all right, and rebuke, all right? One, the Most High is going to destroy you, all right, if you keep on going on, all right? But no, sometimes that way doesn't get to brothers and sisters, all right? Sometimes the fear tactic doesn't work. Know that, you're basically disappointing the Most High, man, all right? You're disappointing the Most High. If the fear doesn't get to you, just know that you're disappointing the Most High, all right? And that you could be so much better than that, and the Most High will help you through these things. You're not stuck, all right? It's not, I thought I was stuck with the tobacco and the nicotine demon, but guess what? No, the Most High will get you through that if you pray and you trust and believe in him, okay? And so, hey, man, you can either choose to continue doing what you're doing, or you continue to change. Or you can continue to do what you're doing, or you can try to change, all right, through Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, praying, all right? So, but you got to put in an effort, all right? You got to put in an effort, all right? So you got to get those demons off you, man. But drug use is witchcraft. So, hey, Lord willing, that lesson was edifying, all right? And good for, exhortation and for fear as well. All right. And, Lord willing, it reaches someone that needed to hear this. All right. If it did, let me know in the comment below. If you need more further exhortation or edification from it, just let me know, man. I can do another part lesson and talk about, and I've done lessons before, but if you need one specifically, let me know, man. Don't feel afraid to reach out. All right, if you need it, I can, you know, all through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, of course, meditate on it. If the Most High wants me to put something out on, I can, you know, I can do that. All right, all through His power. All right, the Lord will help you. All right, you just have to trust in Him. All right, so with that, we're gonna close out. We're gonna give once again all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakak B'Dash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone, taught me this truth and rule well. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. If you're going through this, hey man, the Most High will help you. You just got to pray, man. The Most High will help you. All right, you just got to pray and you got to believe and you got to trust in the Lord, right? So until the next one, Lord willing, shalom.